You read 1 hour per day in something about selling or psychology or human nature. You read books like this. And when you read this one, if you read an hour a day, you can read this book in about 3 days. And when you read that one, you pick up another one, and another, and another, and another. And if you're not reading 3 or 4 books a month, you got too much time on your hands. You know, if you want to move up into the level of 4%. Listen to 1 audio CD daily. Turn off the radio. Get out from in front of the television. The average American watches 28 hours of television a week. Turn your car into a rolling university. Every time you get in the car, a CD goes into the player, or it's already in there. You hit the on button. You do not have to worry about whether or not it works or not, because unconsciously your mind will hear everything that's on that CD. Just the same way your mind heard as a small kid the English language. You learned to speak English because that's what you heard. That's how you were programmed growing up. You could have learned Chinese or Spanish or anything else if you had grown up in that environment. Same thing with this. You put the CD in. You don't have to pay attention, but you do have to be conscious enough to put the friggin' thing in the player and hit the on button. That's all you got to do. Daily, every day. At least Monday through Friday. If you can listen to more than one, great. Enroll in ongoing sales training. That is self-serving for me. Yes, it is, okay? That's a self-serving commercial for me, but it's also the truth. Practice with real prospects. None of this stuff's going to do you any good unless you get out there and practice. Now, when you go practice, you'll come face to face with the realization that you aren't very good at it, which is okay. It's very humbling. One of the keys to really being great is being humbled by the fact that you don't know very much. Seek competent coaching. That means seek coaching from somebody who's already as good as what you want to be. Don't go ask your fellow salesperson who's not any better salesperson than you are what they would do in a situation, because they don't know either. Keep a journal. Keep a sales journal where you write down scenarios. I went out on a sales call. They said this, I said that, this is what happened, next time I'll do this differently because I didn't like this result, and you start keeping a journal. If you don't keep a journal, you will not learn from your experiences, okay? Now, remember that sheet you have, that Think It Over sheet? I want you to dig that out. And we're going to take a look at that for a second. Okay? Okay. Look at the answer to number 2. In the last 12 months, this problem has caused me what? Caused me X number of dollars. Okay? I want you to think about that, but before we do that, I want to ask you, what are your lessons learned, your insights or your epiphanies that you gained from today's session? And then I'm going to give you a very special offer that if you want to become a master at selling, you can do so. So what lesson did you learn, or what insight did you gain, or what aha revelation are you walking away with today? And I'd like to hear from several of you. So, Jay.
I thought it was really revealing that, you know, I've heard it over and over again, emotion buys, logic pays the bills, but you really drilled down in that emotion quite a bit, and that really helped me in the, you know, where it all comes from and how to really dig into their emotions to get them to buy.
And the key to that is you getting comfortable having emotional discussions with people. If you are a male, you have usually more difficulty with that than females. Females tend to operate more in the right brain emotional side. Males tend to want to be on the left brain analytical. You have to really use both sides of your brain, your whole brain. But in selling, it's an emotional thing, so you want to engage more of that right brain. You have it as a male, you just weren't trained to use it very much, which is a shame, really. Okay? John, what lesson did you learn or insight did you gain?
I think primarily that the way we see the world through our behavioral window really dictates our selling behavior.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. You cannot do something that's different than what you perceive truth to be. You want to say something?
Sure. I learned today that I need to go back to having a written agenda at the beginning of the appointment and talk about what the expected outcome can be, so I can avoid altogether or think it over, or we'll have to wait and see or whatever.
Yeah. That one lesson right there will make you money. If you do nothing else than what we talked about today, create that written agenda. It will completely change the tone of the conversation that you have initially. Okay, Andrew?
Really, it's been a fire hose today of a lot of information that you're right that you just don't take in on one, sweep through it, that I'm going to have to go through in the next couple of days to just review all that I've learned. But some great things, talking about how you have to have confrontations, and you listed the 3 other occupations that have confrontations and how successful that can be.
Sure. You guys want to say anything, either one of you?
Yeah, a real big takeaway that I've got is that your current belief system is where you are presently, and then I guess the goal or the belief system that you would like to have, that's where you would want to be in the future. That's one takeaway that I've got.
Yeah, you create your own reality by changing what you want things to look like, literally by reinventing yourself. You can create your own reality. You created the one you got. You have the ability to recreate your own reality.
Go back to the basics of using the agenda. I've done it before and I know that it's successful, so just really making sure that I go back to that.
Okay? When in doubt, go back to the basics.
Really, it's reinforced what I've been learning, because we have a new success system that was just introduced, and it's a lot of these things that you talked about, and so it's reinforcing that. And I realize, and I'm in that humbling position, that I'm not really very good at some things. And there's other things where I'm really good at, but looking at this whole thing, but it also realize from what you're saying, it takes action. And so I'm taking the action and being comfortable with being uncomfortable, knowing that as I move forward through this, it'll work. And I wasn't used to tracking things, and when Steve says, well, what about this number and this and that, I didn't like to do that. I'm one of those touchy-feely people, and I just want to go network and talk with people, but that's one thing that in the recent past that I'm determined to do, and now I have a system of tracking that, and so that's uncomfortable for me, but I'm willing to learn and go through that.
It's important to track. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. So if you're not getting feedback, then you have no sense of reality of what's taking place. All you have is your guess as to what's happening. And like the guy I talked to yesterday, asked him what his average sale was, and he gave me a number, and 5 minutes later, after we were talking, after a couple more questions, I'm like, dude, you said you made an average of $4,000 per sale. Now you're telling me a different thing. It really means your average sale is $2,000. He said, well, I really need to go back and look at that because, quite frankly, I don't have a clue. I'm like, well, until you have a clue, we don't know how much more you need to do, right? We need to know what one new client is worth to you. If you don't know the answer to that, we don't know how many new clients you need to get, which means we don't know how much marketing you need to do. We don't know where you are. So, if you're lost, the best place to do if you're lost in the woods, to figure out how to get out, you need to stop and figure out where the hell you are before you figure out which way to start walking.
For me, I think I need to get in touch with my feminine side, because I don't really deal with emotions myself. I'm very analytical. So So that's one takeaway, but I think the biggest one was think it over is off the table. That's pretty good.
Right, and you can't get mad at the prospect for not doing something you didn't tell them they couldn't do up
Exactly.
front.
Right.
You got to be able to do that. Terrence, you want to?
I think for me, it was more of a strategy that I learned more so than anything else, where you're using what their mom taught them basically against them and planning your approach and understanding their belief system.
Okay, good, good.
I think today probably the biggest thing I've taken away is to not be afraid to walk from the sale and be able to walk away and go in with that attitude that I don't need your business, but I'm here to help you. And I think that'll step up the game just quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it gives you a whole different leverage position, and it really creates with them a real sense of wanting to do business with you, because they don't really want you to go walk, because they realize if you go walk, that means you must have something really good that you're proud of,
Exactly.
as opposed to being over on that beggar side of the equation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I really feel like I need to start doing again is an agenda, and what follows that is scripts, which you didn't mention, but I need to get scripts into what I'm doing so that I'm not stumbling and fumbling.
Yeah. Well, you do need scripts, and scripts are all part of this, is figuring all that out about what to say. You can't get automatic with the stuff until you first have written it out about what you need to do. It's just like an actor knowing their lines. All right. Take one of these and pass them around. And we will go over them. Okay. All right. Now, for several of you, this is going to have a little different. Several of you, this is going to have a little different slant than for others. First of all, if you were in my mastermind group, you already get all of this stuff, okay? It's all part of mastermind. And I say that you will not get the hard copies of stuff. You can get those separately. But if you're in mastermind, you already get this training, which is our Platinum Inner Circle, monthly phone calls, 3 of them, and all that sort of stuff. If you're not in our mastermind, then you can take advantage of this, and you can opt into being in our 1-year sales mastermind and coaching program. Now, let's look at the component pieces. It includes this telecoaching new school mastermind coaching program. We do 3 calls per month. 1 call is recorded, it's a teaching. You get the transcript and the CD. So you'll get a CD every month and the transcript of that CD. The second call of the month is a group coaching call where you call in a group setting on a teleconference line, and you get to present your most pressing sales issue or challenge or situation, and you get one-on-one coaching from me in a group setting while others listen and contribute. And then the third call of the month is you get to call me, and you get, I set aside an hour and a half every month. You can call me and get a 10-minute one-on-one coaching session from me. You also will get access to our website, where there are currently over 15 hours of audio and video, soon to be double that amount. This session today will be uploaded and will be part of that as a DVD or as a video series on there. So you would get access to our membership site that has over 15 hours of audio and video training that you can access 24/7 on your own. You'll have a member's login and password, and you go there, and it's up to you to do it as fast or as slow as you want to. The other things that you get in terms of hard copies, just pull all this stuff out here, and these are bonuses that we have created. Now these bonuses, the other people who are doing this will tell you they did not get these. They're part of it, but they didn't get any of this stuff. This is for today. I'm offering to you guys as part of this package, the previous set we did, the previous 6 CDs or DVDs we did, Renegade Selling Strategies for the New Economy. You can see what those titles are there. You can look down there and see what each of those topics are. They're also as part of the package is the Live Down Under CD set I did in Australia. It's 8 CDs, audio CDs, of a 2-day sales boot camp. Essentially what I did today, except 2 days more in depth of what I did today. Also as part of that would be a 2 CD set of tools and tactics for profitable persuasion, along with the action guide for that. And the really cool piece of that are the cheat sheet flashcards. 13 most common objections and 4 different responses to each one of those. This is how you learn. People ask me, well, how did you learn this stuff? Well, here's what I did. I started writing out the answers to the questions I was getting and the stalls I was getting on index cards. And I made up my own little set. And then it dawned on me, geez, if I'm hearing all these, so is everybody else. So what I did is I created these and had them professionally done, laminated, and so forth. People say, just send me some information. I need to think it over. Your price is too high. It just isn't a priority right now. We had a bad experience with. We're happy with our current supplier. I need to talk to my boss. We never heard of your company. I don't like. I need to get 3 quotes. I need to speak to some other vendors and more. All the answers are right on here. Well, you don't even have to think about what the answers are. You just flip over to the card and there they are. Well, the same way you learn your multiplication table. So there's that as a set. There's a, obviously, there's a copy of my book that goes along with that. There is the action guide that I talked about earlier. It's a 54-page action guide. And then you will also get a monthly newsletter from me along with your CD and transcript each month. And let's see, what else here? The Cultivating Abundant Mentality audio CD, which is, I think, probably the best thing I've ever done. It really deals with mindset issue about developing this spiritual sense of abundance. Because see, until you think there's abundant opportunity, you won't even try. That's really a key right there. And a Prospecting to Fill the Pipeline CD. This whole package is $2,900 and some dollars worth of stuff if you had to get it individually. If you are so inclined to want to join this 1-year sales mastermind and coaching program, it's $1,997 for the year, a one-time pay, or $747 a month for 3 payments. And the guarantee that I promise you is if you stay with me for a year and you work at this stuff, if you don't get at least a 30% increase in your sales, then you give me back all the stuff and I'll give you back your money. Pretty simple as that. No hassle. Simply give it back to you, no questions asked. Okay? So if you would like to take advantage of that, simply fill that out and give it back to me. Now keep in mind, if you take this is before you walk out of here. If you walk out of here and want to do it a month from now, you can get in. It's $197 a month, but you don't get any of this stuff. Just plain $197 a month. So if you want that, just let me know. I'll be around for a little bit to take any questions you may have. If you want to hang around for a little bit, you can do that. And I think that pretty much does it. So enjoyed you guys coming. Hope you got your $29 worth. If you didn't, that's too damn bad. Because I gave you a whole lot more than $29 worth. So good to see all of you. And again, if you are a mastermind member, this will be included. This is part of your mastermind. I know Yolanda, Wes, you're thinking about that. Part of mastermind. If you're not part of mastermind, then you can do this separate from mastermind. Okay? All right, great. Good to see all of y'all. Have a great weekend. And I will talk with you very soon.